Yeah, what's on the Jeffrey Dad. In this video, we're gonna talk a little bit about some an ex NBA player who his ends just ain't meeting. His ends is just not meeting right. He got child support issues. He has a pending divorce. There's abuse allegations. There's all this crazy stuff and going on. You know what we gonna do? We gonna try to keep it focused, kinda on kinda on the finances and talk about the financial aspect of what's going on in this situation. As always, I am a licensed attorney, but this isn't legal or financial advice. So I'm not giving financial professional advice or legal advice. I'm just letting y'all know my opinions and takes on what's going on in the financial world, letting y'all know what we got going on sometimes as we're on that road to financial freedom. So we're going to talk about Trevor Ariza. Now, if any of y'all don't know, Trevor, I remember playing with the Lakers when they won that chip in 2009. He was like one of those 3 and D guys. Like, okay, put Trevor Ariza out there to bother somebody and hit a three. So Trevor Ariza in his NBA career, according to Google, so the number might be a little bit lower. Hey, hold on, KT. How are you? I hope all is well. Y'all make sure y'all go check out KT's channel as well. She got some good financial gems. Hey, brother, I appreciate you tuning in, man. Hey, thank you, thank you. Y'all make sure y'all also go check out my guy, Mountain of Inspiration. Hey, good inspirational stuff, but he also provides some gems on branding and marketing and how to get your business branding right. So that's really what I like his content. But definitely make sure y'all go check out both of those creators. Now, Trevor Ariza, during most of his NBA career, according to Google, made $118 million. Now, I don't know, like, I thought we were at a point, maybe this is just me being foolish because I don't have $118 million. But at one point, I felt like NBA and NFL salaries got so high that we would not hear these stories that we heard so much of players and athletes going broke because there's just so much money out there. We know athletes in the 80s and 90s, like Deion Sanders only made like $20 million his whole career. Just put that in context. Now, average guy who's a bum is getting millions of dollars, completely different from how it was. So I actually had this opinion that the salaries are so high, we're not going to hear stories of athletes going broke because, like the salary is just up there. It wouldn't be, it's just hard for somebody to spend that much money. KT said, yeah, 118 million is like play money. Yeah, that's crazy. But his NBA salary was 118 million. That's all we're gonna take a look at. We're gonna look at it. Sister by the name of Bree Anderson, they are going through a divorce currently, and so now he has an estranged wife. And here's where things get interesting. I want to go ahead and pull up the article so we could take a look. Let's go pull this article up so we can take a look. Trevor Ariza going broke, struggling to pay child support to ex-wife. So, hey, child support is one of those things where I understand it. It is a necessity. I actually did a video on how to pay less child support. It wasn't a video for people on support to take care of their kids, but paying more child support than you should not happen. So I did a video because I used to do child support. I used to I used to handle child support cases when people violated the court order and they were looking at jail time. So I got this. I hated that being in that type of court. But that video was really geared on how to pay less child support legally. It wasn't geared towards like people who wanted to be deadbeats. It was geared towards making sure people are paying the correct amount of child support. Because if you're paying more than you should, now your lifestyle is coming into it. I'll link this video in the description or put a link up once I close everything out. But Trevor Ariza, married to Bree Anderson, made $118 million. Now, let's take a look at 2001. Okay, and I wanted to read some of these headlines, but they're talking about their divorce. She was saying that he made $5 million a month. This was in 2001. And I wanted to just look at this paragraph because we talked about her monthly expenses. Now, of course, we all know alimony and child support and alimony is so the spouse can continue to live a lifestyle that was comparable to the lifestyle that she was living when she was married. So it says her monthly expenses included 18,000 for a mortgage, 3,100 to cover property taxes, child care, $5,000 in grocery, $4,000 on eating out, $3,500 on clothes, 400 from her for her phones. That's the only thing that sounds reasonable. 400 for her phones, 5K on entertainment and gift. These monthly 500K to put in the savings. That's wow. 5K to pay for staff for a grand total of $55,000 per month. So those are her total expenses. She's included in that child care. So that any money that he would have paid, presumably for child support, she is included in that. And she listed, we want to make sure we got that right, $3,000 in child care. That's crazy. 500K to put in the savings. That can't be right. That paragraph can't be written right. Her monthly expenses includes, because the way that reads is that she wants 500K a month. I'm going to err on the side of that correctly, because if that's what she was asking for, that's wild as hell. That's kind of out there. That if that's what she was asking for, hey, I'm just going to say that's kind of out there. But that was in 2020. That's what she said her expenses were. In 2022, photos were released, and I don't want to go all into depth of that and put the photos up, but in 2022, photos were released where she had some bruises. She asserted that it was because of physical abuse. He denies these allegations. Of course, she was in that article that's had from 2021 that a lot of times he would use finances and money as a way to kind of punish her or sanction her or control her, which financial abuse is an actual thing. It's not uncommon. You see it a lot of time when there's a disparity in a financial relationship, or you see it a lot of times. When I prosecuted people, it was people for like financial abuse of elders, home health aides who would take advantage of someone that they were providing care for. Now let's fast forward to currently. Okay, now this guy is in the NBA. You know, the last time he was in the NBA, I can't remember what his numbers were, but they were some pretty bummy numbers. Let me see if I can get the article up. Okay. All right. So now this is interesting because now we're going to take a look at his expenses, because he says that he has no income per month. He said his only income is $4,000 per month. Think about that. He's saying that his income is $4,000 a month, and that is only from rental properties that he had. If you're making $4,000 a month from rental property, you, you might get like two, like small town South Carolina, South Carolina somewhere. That's just crazy. That now we all know celebrities, the gamesmanship that goes on. People hide money and try to be evasive and avoid the court system. That's neither here nor there. But the numbers he's giving, that $4,000 is from rental income. He said he got a one-time payment of $418,000 as a payout from the NBA, but that was just a one-time thing. And so now these are his expenses. Because when I saw this article, I had a conversation with somebody, and I wanted to kind of put this in context before I jump into his numbers. I had a conversation with someone, and I said, these type of stories, I'm gonna just be honest, I don't really feel any sympathy or empathy for this guy, because he made $118 million, 18-year career, I believe it was. There are people who have these same situations who make $60,000 a year. Like a situation like that, I'm gonna look at with a lot more, with a fine tooth comb to go through to find out what the facts are, how person should be. This guy who made $1 million. I'll be honest. I really don't give a damn. And part of it is not really because of the amount of money he made, is because he had the resources to put mechanisms in place to protect himself. So the comment that I made to the person who showed me this article was, I said, look, he had the mechanisms in place either before the marriage or during the marriage, where he could have had an agreement in place to make sure that his money wouldn't be in such dire straits at the time, or if he ever had a divorce. And then this was, well, divorce doesn't impact child support. And I was like, hey, a prenup and child support are two different things, but a prenup allows you to keep more of your assets so you can be in a position to pay child support. Because the conversation I had was this: there are stories of people who pay asinine amounts of child support, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. I don't think this is one of these situations. To me, this was a situation of someone had bad money habits. They had the resources to put protections and guard them from losing assets in divorce. They didn't do it. Now, you getting hit over the head, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. So let's take a look at what Trevor Ariza is spending per month. And this goes to show me, isn't that the child support amount that's the problem? It's how he's managed his money during this year and how he's managing his money now. Like I said, he makes $4,000, according to him, $4,000 a month in rental income. Okay, here goes right here. He says he makes an average of $4,000 a month from rental income and not much else. He also said he received $118,000 one-time payment from the NBA, which was not recurring. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Let's look at what he's spending. He lists his monthly expenses as $13,000 for his mortgage, $1,400 in maintenance, $8,900 for childcare, $1,500 for groceries, $3,000 on eating out, $800 for laundry, $3,500 on clothes, $3,200 for his children's education, $14,000 on various damn 14,000 on various cars and 19,000 on the other. The other includes 4K to his personal assistant, 5,700 for basketball training for his kids, $400 for massages, $500 for boxing classes, and $900 for manicure and pedicures, and $2,500 for your girlfriend, bro, a month. Like I don't know. So y'all let me know in the comments. I'm gonna just go through this because it gives me a few questions before I even go to the comments. Maybe this is just me, and this is a separate conversation I had with about this exact case, and I said I don't understand how you can make $118 million in your career and you're still paying $118 million in your career and you're paying $13,000 a month for a mortgage. You should have a house that's paid off. And got was, well, a lot of people don't like paying off mortgages because one, they don't want to tie up that much cash. They may not have that much cash, which probably is the case here, but they think the tax benefits outweigh the actual home ownership. And I was like, and I've heard people say that, well, I don't want to pay off my mortgage because of the tax benefits. The biggest tax benefit you have that you can ever have is when you only pay taxes and you don't have to pay interest to a bank or payments to a bank. like it. So $118 million, the $13,000 a month mortgage. Is just my take on it. I think that's a clear sign that and somewhere along the line, this 118 million was definitely fumbled and bumbled along the way. Because at this stage, after a damn near 20-year career and that much money, I'm gonna just be honest, I wouldn't have a mortgage. The maintenance cost for his residence, I'm not even gonna bark at. $8,900 for childcare, like I don't know who's watching his kids, like Princess Diana. Like I don't know who's watching his kids, but $8,900 is like, well, I don't know. I'm assuming that might be on par to that might be before I think about it, that might be on par for where they live at. They may live somewhere like Beverly Hills or somewhere, and I'm pretty sure that Trevor Reason don't want to take his kids to Compton to a daycare when he probably has a home in Beverly Hills that he shouldn't have, even though he probably should live. But even the 8,900 for child care, I'm gonna give him a pass on that. I think the mortgage probably shouldn't be there with that much money he made over that long of a career. Hey, his grocery budget, I'm not really mad at. $3,000 on eating out, bro. That's probably because he probably going to some expensive like when normal people eat out. We talk about Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A and strawberry biscuits and pie pies that people want to go get. But like this dude probably eating at steak houses, probably spending three, $400 on a meal. So even that, I'm not really gonna fight over because like I said, he's probably in a real affluent area, so he just trying to keep up with the Joneses, even though he ain't got it. For me, the things that are kind of crazy is $3,500 a month on clothes. Like you got to spend that much on clothes. I think that's ridiculous. Okay, children's education, no problems. $14,000 on cars. Like, come on, bro. Really? $14,000 on cars. Why are your car payments more? Why the hell are your car payments more than your mortgage? Like, that really that really makes no sense. I agree. I can be discreet and we'll relocate. Yeah. Because if I saw Trevor Reeves in the street, I might recognize him, but I'd probably just be like, man, that dude tall as hell and not recognize him. But a lot of people don't want to, especially when you that multi-millionaire life, to downgrade, they may feel like it's beneath them. It's kind of crazy. Like I said, the house maintenance, the eating out, I'm not even really fighting over those, but $14,000 a month on car. What car are you driving? You must have like a Diablo or something. Like, what kind of car are you driving? How many cars do you have? Like, damn, dog, you only could drive one at a time. It's just you, your girlfriend, and like your kids. So that $14,000 on cars is ridiculous. 19,000 on the others. Include 4Ks on a personal assistant. Why do you have a personal assistant when you make $4,000 a month? I know they aren't managing your one or two properties that you have. Like, you don't. In order to have personal assistants, you have to have business. You have no business. All of your affairs you should be able to take care of on your own. Literally looking at this, we could carve out $20,000 easy. All the cars he should have. Give him some leeway. He gonna want to have a nice car. He probably ain't put no money down. Your car payment $2,000 a month. Come on, bro. 14K on the car. Distance for somebody who makes, according to you, $48,000 a year, $4,000 a month, $48,000 a year. Like, bro, you broke, especially if you stand in Beverly Hills. That's crazy. 5,700 for basketball training camp for his kids. Like, yo, and part of this is how old are your kids? I understand that because I get it. Like we know LeBron James gave Bronny the best basketball coaches and trainers possible, but that's because LeBron got it. Like LeBron is probably one of the smartest that we'll ever see in our history, especially as a black man in the United States. But to pay $5,700 for basketball training camp, I feel like that's a little bit excessive, especially since you played in the NBA. You had a career in the NBA, right? And I get it. I needed to teach my son how to swim. And I was like, man, I couldn't do it. He wouldn't listen. He was sinking like a damn anvil. It was crazy. I paid for him to take a swimming course, and he just looking like a damn albino dolphin swimming all around. And I'm like, I'm like, why is it that kids can learn than their parents? I get it, but I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that your kid's basketball training is probably not worth $5,700. It's $5,700 that you don't got. You can definitely cut that down, cut that back. $400 for massages, bro. You make $4 a month. You shouldn't be using 10% of your income for massages. And the other thing is like, should you really be stressed out? you you should not be stressed out. Like you don't even like. Well, I guess he's stressed out because he don't have money. But damn, bro, like yeah, you don't have any luxuries. Manicures, pedicures, $900. Like, no, your feet should be crusty as hell. Your toenails should be crusty. Your back should have a crick in it. You should have a pulled muscle in your neck because you have not done enough fiscally to be in a position where you can actually self-care is a line item in your budget that you plan for and you do it because you have it. He's probably putting all of this shit on credit cards, which is really ridiculous. The of all these expenses, the last but not least, $2,500 for you. Come on. Like, I don't know. I think this is absolutely insane. Personally, I agree with you, Dimitri. This dude definitely needs help. He needs to, some point we all got to just grow and realize like I did the video on the laws of car repossession so people can know the do's and don'ts. And we looked at some videos that were wild and kind of funny. But at some point, you gotta be mature, and he's old enough to know, like, okay, I gotta get my act together because this is just something that's unsustainable. Like it is like you said, it's beyond ridiculous. It's crazy, but this is kind of a common thing, a common pattern that we see. Unfortunately, especially in our community, which is probably the terrible thing. You're tricking if you got it, yeah, and if you don't got it, you tricking like hell. to quote the great philosopher T.I. Tip Harris. Yeah, that's funny. I don't understand how he can stand and make 4K a month and live expensive. It's one of two things. He's probably hiding assets, but I'm gonna be honest, like it's not uncommon for people to just live off of credit cards. Like, man, he probably got some American Express card or some black card with no limit, and he could put 30K a month on it like nothing. He had a 10-year track record of just being able to do that and at least pay that off every month while he still was making these exorbitant purchases. But I don't know. I just find this entire story kind of crazy. I think the big takeaway from this story is one, sometimes we have, if you don't get that moment, because I think most people decide to make change when they hit rock bottom. And if you don't hit rock bottom to decide to make a change, because from reading those articles, it sounds like financially he's at rock bottom, but he may not realize that yet. He just don't want to be embarrassed. He don't want to move out of the neighborhood. He don't want to do all that stuff. You know how many people I know who lost their first home but now own apartment buildings? So just because you gotta, sometimes you gotta take a couple steps back, and it's not even a step back, but sometimes you may take what you feel is a step back just so you can move forward and have something that's better. It's just terrible to see this, and this could all be avoided from financial education, financial literacy, and just having somebody who you can talk to. I mean, and I get it, like if I was 21 making millions of dollars, I would probably blow off a lot of it too. But having an 18-year career, that puts you well into your 30s. By that time, you should have a little bit of sex, at least know who to ask to get the information. So, hey, the big takeaway from this is knowledge is power. Ask people for help. Don't be too proud to do something dramatic to change your situation. I'm actually going to have one of my homeboys on because I tell the story all the time. I was an attorney and I was working part-time in a call center. And a lot of people don't believe me. But now one of my partners he's literally the only guy I remember from the call center because we used to talk sports all the time when we were supposed to be making calls. We used to talk sports all the time. But now he has his own firm. He is a CPA. He sells insurance instruments, and he's a professional. And I said, damn, when we talked, I was like, man, we came a long way from making those phone calls at that call center, harassing the hell out of people. But you can't be too ashamed to do something dramatic to change a situation. But today, it's hard being broke, and it's hard working your way out of bad financial habits. You know what I mean? Both of them are hard, but broke, if you don't change, that shit is forever. Like I don't like, okay, okay, I'm I'm on year. I'm going into like year. I'm into year 3 of finding financial freedom, and it sucks because I want a 3-wheeler. And my motorcycle, I got to do all my maintenance on my own. My seat splitting and a new seat because I got a custom seat because I got bony ass, so I'm comfortable. That seat is $700. I'm not paying $700 for that seat unless a bunch of damn people jump on and watch this YouTube video. But I'm not paying $700 for a seat. So you know what? I'm gonna just ride with that busted seat. Nobody can see the seat when your ass sitting on it when you're riding the bike anyway. But you know, I could broke and it's hard being broke. I'm in year 3 of my financial freedom journey, and sometimes it sucks. I get tired of sending big ass checks to the student loan people. I get tired of not being able to do some of the things I wanted to do, or buy some of the things I want, or do some of the things with my family that they want to do. I know that this struggle is temporary. Struggle if I keep bad financial habits. Being broke is a struggle if you don't change your habits that'll last forever. So would you rather have a hard ass time being broke forever, or a hard ass time for 3 or 4 years putting work in to change your financial situation? That's it. I just wanted to give y'all those gems, talk a little bit about Trevor Ariza. I hope he gets his finances under control. I hope him and his spouse can work things out amicably. But hey, it's a CYA game. Nobody give a damn about your financial situation more than you. So you are your go-to person. You are your first, most important financial advisor. If you like this video, make sure you check the video out on the screen. There's going to be more content related to finances. KT, Dimitri, everybody who tuned in, hey, I appreciate y'all. And y'all make sure y'all go check out KT Sterling's channel. I link that channel in this description. And I also link my inspiration. My mother loved him because he always be preaching the next time. If I ever get her to come up to Toronto with me, she gonna have to stop by and meet you because she be watching your stuff all the time, bro. I'll talk to y'all later. Take care. Peace.